Maybe I can, introduce myself, maybe to save some time before the presentation. So I'm Necmettin Ozkan from Turkey. I'm working as an Agile coach, part-time Agile coach, and as an IT process quality management team leader in Turkey, in a bank in Turkey. And also I'm doing my PhD after having my, long time my master degree in IT management in Malaysia. I decided to take my PhD. It's an Agile. So I'm doing so much Agile stuff starting from 1914. So we were dealing with some kind of Scrum and Agile transformation in a bank. So it was the biggest one in Turkey and in the neighborhood region. So I learned a lot from this transformation because it was very hard. Why it's hard? So because we were dealing some kind of thing outside of the comfort zone of the Agile or Scrum. So it's like challenging thing and compliance and regulations and everything. So when you do something different, you are most probably learning something new. So after that, I decided to change my work into another bank again. So I'm doing my Agile stuff there as an Agile coach, part-time Agile coach. So yes, so I'm a little bit in the middle of the practice. I'm doing practice every day. And then I'm doing my research on Agile. So when you want to reach to my research, you can just Google my name and surname, Necmettin Ozkan, and Scholar or something like that, and you will see many kind of research. Maybe some of them can be interesting to you. So this one again, so it's a result of a research. It's a big research. So I have some sort of lovely co-authors providing this research as well. Şevval, Tuğba, and my supervisor, Şahin Gök. So I personally decided to make a research about this topic. So how people are dealing with the Scrum and Kanban, especially when they want to compare or combine them. So we come up with about 40 research stuff. And some of them are just comparing to Agile, and some of them are trying to combine or combining to Agile. So here is that the thing is that all the research are based on the practice. So there are many kind of the information coming from practice into this research. So maybe we can start. Then we published this research in an academic conference, which is the longest Agile longest conference on software development. So it was about 43 year of this conference or something like that. So this research, this topic has very long history behind it and too much effort. Okay, you can reach me through this barcode or something like that. So yes, unluckily we have some sort of methods for, right? So there are many people are dealing with this stuff, but we have different perspectives. So we have one perspective for, the creators or the, supporter or seller, and they don't want to maintain their practices or their methods as a whole. They don't want to make it something harmonizing with other things. So we have some sort of, methods war, especially between their creators. But at the same time, we have some sort of, strengths and weaknesses and limitations and advantages and contexts constraint for these methods. So as implementers, as an adapters, we have different perspective. We are not supposed to support this war. Rather, we need to include some, other perspective, leading us to combine every, practices or related practices to benefit for ourselves, not for themselves. So this is the huge difference thing we need to consider. So yeah, we are supposed to blend multiple methods that can yield more benefits because they can complement each other. Even though, the creators don't like it, so we should do it, okay? So here, we will deal with, Scrum and Kanban because they are widely used in our sector. So how many of you are dealing with Scrum? So, you know Scrum, right? Very nice. So for Kanban, how many of you? Oh, very nice. Better than I expected. So you know the Scrum and Kanban, right? Okay. I'm in the right place? I know that. Okay, but most of the time people don't know too much about the Kanban, but here, population is very nice. Okay, let's continue. Okay, I want to give, maybe share some perspective before proceeding with all this data. So we need to have some side of philosophy behind, ourselves, our mind, to master something, anything. If you want to, if you want to learn how to ride a car, you will be using the same philosophy behind this. So for this, for adapting any kind of method or to be agile, we need to most probably following these steps. There are 3, but it's very hard. Especially, we need to, jump from the first one to second one, and it's very hard. This is, I think, one of the hardest things we need to, apply to our organizations or our processes. So at the first stage, yes, we need to follow the rules because we don't know anything about, what we are doing. So I don't know anything about Agile, right? What I'm supposed to do is just to follow someone else who knows Agile very well. So it's, okay, it's very nice. So, like, having, it's something like, being a mother. So you don't know anything about how to be mother. So you can read something and you can ask someone, you can follow some rules, okay. But after that, you know that, some of the rules are not for you, it's for your context, because you are a special person, you are an individual person, and you need to change some rules. So you need to break some of them. Maybe, you cannot follow the rules of Scrum. Some of the activities or something like that can be a ballot that suffers for you, and you need to stop that, and you need to create another thing, or you need to, do something else. Some of the, practices or, principles or whatever can be your own stuff. Like here, so you need to, at the end, to be rule itself. So this is the way we need to follow, how to be agile. So we will be somewhere between this one and this one. What I mean is that we will have some sort of, practices from different domains, which means that we are breaking the walls of Scrum and Kanban. Because if you are in Scrum and if you want to do something else, Scrum says that it's not Scrum. So you need to do that, even though Scrum says you are not doing Scrum. Okay, one day you will have something else, and you need to be doing something out of Scrum or Kanban. So we will be staying at this stage. Maybe we will see something from this stage between them as well. And we will be creating our own practices. During this presentation, you will see something from somewhere here. Okay. Yeah, another philosophy, like similar to other one, is that we have some methods here, like safe or something. So if you want to implement the safe as it is, the best thing you can achieve is something which is in the head of the others. You can make the others dream real. That's it. So you cannot go beyond of that. So at the best, maybe you are doing something wrong according to safe. So yeah, this way is not so good. So we need to shift our mind from this one to other one. So let's say we have practices, roles, and all the things for Kanban and Scrum. So we can divide them into pieces. So like this one, every independent pieces, and then I can select the most appropriate one for my context. And I can create my puzzle, okay? It's very, it's something like, we are doing, as children, we are doing something like, creating like blocks or something like that, but we are doing our own structure ourselves. So it's something like that. All these pieces, but the final structure is yours. Okay, the basic idea here is that. Okay, for our benefits, yes, as I mentioned, we encountered and included 83 empiric studies comparing and/or integrating Scrum and Kanban. So we focused on benefits of Scrum against Kanban and benefits of Kanban against Scrum. So as a second point, also we focus on how to combine them. So people are combining these two. So they are, transitioning from somewhere to another one. So the first question about combining is that, what is the transition direction? And the second question is, why they move one to another one? So why? What is the problem with the current one? Okay, why do you do that? What is the motivation? So the other important thing is that what properties they use from each method. So product owner or Kanban flow or something like that. So we will see the answers for these questions during this presentation. So let's look at the the first question. As you see, I'm not so sure you can read it or not. Okay, I will. You are my customers. So I need to make sure that you can read it. No, you cannot. Okay, I will just, because I said there are many information and data here, I need to, but at least you can see this place. This is the visual representation of this left side. Almost same, but with the numbers showing the frequency of usage. Okay, it's same, almost same, yes. No big deal. So if you cannot read this part, okay, this part is okay. And I will translate this part as well. So let's start, benefits of Scrum, Kanban against Scrum. This is a very important part because, I will show you the verse direction. It's very simple. As you see, there are but apparently many, advantage of Kanban over Scrum. So Kanban seems a little bit more advantage over the Scrum. Okay, let's look at each one step by step. Okay, so I am here, right? Evolutionary. So Kanban provides some sort of easy transition and use because it's evolution, not revolutionary. So you need to do every step after step, and you need to try and try and try. So it is like Agile. You will need to do it iteratively and incrementally, not as a bulk change, okay, like in waterfall. So people think that Kanban is better in terms of this criteria. So thanks to this evolutionary change mindset, Kanban comes with cost effectiveness because you can eliminate excessive and unnecessary meetings. So you don't need to do every meeting by book. At the first stage, you need to do step by step, and if it works, so you can include it. No matter, it is said by the book or not. So also, Kanban respect the people and their current states, which means, you don't need to predefine rules or something like that. So it makes Kanban, very effective. In these terms. Also, in terms of the processes, these are mostly for the transition style. In terms of the processes, it means that managing the time, Kanban use continuous flow, and Scrum use sprints, fragmented and segmented progressing. So it is very different. It's very, it is a major difference between these two methods. So Kanban use flow, continuous flow, which follows, which allows flexible, adaptive system, and you can get feedbacks also easily and faster, because you don't need to spend your time until the end of the sprint. You can get the feedback just now. It's fresh, and you can get it. Flexible and adaptive, because it's continuous. So you need to do something, but you are waiting this something from the other teams, right? So you can just ask them, and they can take it just now. You cannot hear that next sprint. Just now, you can just do it. So it's more adaptive in terms of, you need to do something continuously, like in the real life. We are adapting Agile, and we are using Agile in our real life as continuous thing, not as segmenting thing. So let's say, okay, now I can walk from this road to another point, right? But you are stable, like in Scrum. Let's say I have a sprint, and I can make a plan for this sprint, and I can walk this road, maybe end of this room. But if you are stable, let's say, okay, it is like everyone is doing something, and like it's very dynamic environment, or like a street. You cannot make a long plan. Even though it is just 2 weeks, you cannot do it, and you cannot cross the road. So you need to adjust yourself every time. So you need to adjust yourself. So you need to have something continuously, as happening in Kanban flow. Okay. So Kanban flow also uses pull system, applying WIP limits. So the WIP limits, right? You are just putting some kind of limits for the things you are doing at the same time. So it is WIP limit. So if you are available room, you can just pull the items from your previous step. So thanks to this, WIP limits, Kanban comes with focus on work. So you know how much work you will do. Just let's say 3. So I can focus on this 3, not more than that. I can decide it. Nobody else also to team, just myself. Okay, it's very nice. So on behalf of this, so we have high quality, because I have only 3 things. I need to focus on these things, and I can provide high quality products and less stress. Okay, I'm the king of my process, so I can decide WIP limits and nobody else, and I can decide everything for my process, and I know myself and my capacity. And because of that, I can define my capacity and the reality. They can be aligned, resulting in less stress for the teams and less rework because of the high quality of the products. Also, WIP limits also comes with consistency and reliability. So the thing is that, okay, we have. Let's say, okay, I'm doing a plan, right? Plan is good, but most of the time plan is not accurate. You need to change it. So if you do a plan, especially a plan, planned by someone else, it will change. And you will see that it will not accurate at the end. So it will decrease the consistency and reliability for yourself and for your customers. So if you decide your capacity, you will plan yourself, and with the WIP limits, you will have higher consistency and reliability. Okay, let's look at the sides. Yes, Kanban has the end-to-end flow management, which means that from the idea stage of the customers to the end of the your development stage. It's very nice. Because in Scrum, okay, everything's okay, but you don't know too much about, you don't have any capacity management for, the words happening between the customer itself and customer and product owner. So it is something like, there are some hidden plays there and hidden risk between, especially at the beginning of these processes. So it's something different here. So we have the value management, and the studies says that with the value management, for the holistic view. We can see the whole process from the customers and to the other end, and we can have the collective understanding and the teamwork. Okay, so also there is no proxy, so we have ability to contact directly with our customers, which is fine, because in the complex world, product owner can simplify our processes, but at the same time it can not carry all the things from the customer, which is very complex, to the development team, which is another complex world. So it's like a bridge, but bridge is simple. It's not so much complex enough to bridge everything on the right-hand side and left-hand side. Okay, these are the advantages of Kanban over Scrum. And when we look at Scrum side, people say that the studies, I don't, and Scrum is nice because it is well defined and it provides a path clarity and it is easy to manage. And it is better for requirement management because there are many things there. Product owner, product backlog, or something like that. It's fine. So inside the team, yeah, Scrum is better because we have communication, capabilities and all the stuff. Providing some kind of communication capability. It is better for bigger teams and it is better for empowering the teams. Also, Scrum comes with some kind of predictability because you do some kind of prediction and you get feedback from your prediction and you educate and train yourself through the Scrum feedback loops. So it provides a detailed tracking and overview of the projects, and especially if you have a deadline, which is a kind of prediction, it requires a prediction, so it is better for that one as well. So if you have uncertainty environments, let's say you don't know anything about what will happen, Scrum is better because in Kanban, the flow is like linear, so it's like waterfall, something like that. So because Kanban is incremental but not iterative, so you cannot go back and go forward again, back again, something like that. You cannot dance like that in Scrum flow, in Kanban flow. In Kanban flows directly, like in production system, right? It's not so good for complex environment. Okay, let's continue. These are some simple answers to simple questions. So I just want to highlight these. So most of, you cannot read it, but I will just summarize this one. Most of the time, the transitions are from Scrum, waterfall, custom, and two hybrid methods: hybrid, Kanban, hybrid. So you see, most of the transitions are from Scrum to hybrid ones, and these are the years. The transitions are happening because not every study is including any kind of the transition information. Sometimes they include comparison information. So not 38 studies, 18 studies here. And you see dramatic increase, especially when people are introduced to Kanban. Okay. Well, okay. The reason for transition. So let's start with easy one, okay? Kanban, yes, lack of control. No, there is no code. At the first stage, you don't have too much, defined something like book or something like that. It's like, everyone can do everything. So at the first stage, it's a lack of control. So lack of deadlines because, okay, in Kanban, you can manage the deadlines, but people say that, it feels like that. And not having a feel of process progressing in Kanban because, you don't celebrate your increment with your customer like happening in Scrum. So at the end of the sprint, you celebrate and do everything for the product increment you develop. But in Kanban, it's not so much like that. Okay, this is another long one. The transition reason for Scrum. Okay, I will show the same one, the visual version after this one. Maybe we can continue with this, but the most important thing is the numbers maybe. Scrum transition reason for Scrum includes the flexibility and predictability, lack of flexibility and predictability during sprints for the frequent and unexpected changes. So you don't like to change when you are inside the Scrum sprints, okay? Because you have a goal and you want to achieve this goal, and it's not so good to have some sort of changes, which is very against agility itself. So you need to embrace the change every time, but you cannot do it during the sprint. So it's something contradictory. Okay, the other one is this is the example of this one, I guess, because unstable for maintenance teams. So the change happens all the time for the maintenance teams. They have very dynamic environment, and Scrum sprints cannot respond to this dynamism because it doesn't support that much agility. It's not continuous, right? Okay. Quality decrease or something like that. So I will show you this picture that you cannot read. Okay, I will read it for you. Yeah, people think that Scrum is rigid. Do you think like that? Anyone doesn't agree or agree? Okay, revolutionary change is kind of rigid thing. As I read before, so this is the static entities, lack of flexibility and predictability to sprints, and because of this, we have some sort of problems happening, like instability, unsuitability for the maintenance teams, and it has time boxes, and it has static also team formation, so you cannot change your team formation easily. If you are there, you will be there. It's not so much flexible. So we have sprint side. So the most challenging part of the management is the time management, because time is the master, right? We cannot manage it easily. It's something different. So if you want to manage the time, and if you want to create another version of the time, which can be called a sprint, most probably, time will not listen to you. It will go as it wish. So it happens like here. So we have deadlines inside the sprint. When we are trying to, manage the time, we have deadlines, like not dead, but lines. We have lines at the end of sprint. So when you are reaching through the end of the sprint, it's probably you have some kind of dichotomy. Dichotomy means that you need to select this one or that one. I am in the middle. So I am, going to, the end of the sprint. So I need to show something. I need to finish something. So as a human, I decide that, okay, let's finish all the stuff with low quality, or maybe we can, finish something. We cannot finish something, but with a high quality. Okay, this is abstract. Quality is abstract. Nobody can see it. But the increment is, concrete. So which one we can select? Maybe concrete one, right? So this is a kind of dilemma because of these deadlines inside the sprint. Some of the time people may think that, may go to, unhappy paths. So it is some kind of, trouble we have. At the same time, this is resulting in high quality because, enforcing the teams to compromise on quality because of the time stress here. Also, we have stress and strain and pressure for the teams. And also sprints, thinking like, iteration-based, and iteration-based, causes increased length of the feedback loops. So you need to wait until the end of the sprint, or maybe you don't need, but people tend to wait, because of this thing. So yes, also we have some problem or maintenance teams, and we have Yes, I read this place. Okay, I need to go the other one. So in Scrum, we have some sort of development-oriented perspective. We need to package everything from the eyes of the developers. Let's say we have 2 weeks. Okay, customer, it is your package, but I can take 80% of your idea inside my sprint. Why? It's just because of my word. In my word, it works like that. I have a sprint, so I need to cut this from that point, and I need to put inside the sprint. So it's something like developer-oriented thinking. And yeah, even though there are things not so much correlated, not related, we need to put inside the same bag, which is sprint. Like in maintenance teams, it doesn't work, but inside, outside of the maintenance teams, it happens as well. And so, yeah, because of the, development-oriented thinkings, there can be some kind of challenges in having common language with the business, because Scrum is so much about development of something, but the customer doesn't care about how you develop it. They just focus on the end results rather than your sprint or everything. Okay, we have push system, even though it's not good. Push means that you plan or someone plans and you push it to other stage, to further stage. It's not so good. I think it's one of the most big scenes we do in our development processes. What kind of push we have inside the Scrum? Let's say we have Scrum sprints are sprint-based WIP limits. Okay, not each station in Kanban. We have in Kanban we can divide all process, all the flow into small steps, and we can manage each of these individually. But when we come to the Scrum's world, it happens like that. So I have the WIP limit only for the sprint. I can take that much, story point. So this is a problem. The other one is that inside the sprint, you can still have some sort of bottlenecks, because analysis is done. Analysis is done. You have 10 items done for analysis, but for the developers, no, you don't have a capacity to do that. So inside the sprint, you have a problem with capacity management, because the WIP limits doesn't work inside it, not that level. Okay, so at the end of the sprint, you need to push something towards the end of the sprint, like the increment itself. Okay, we have some sort of problem. I don't say this is okay. It's not my ideas. Okay, this is the real cases from the practices. These are the hot stones, something like that. People are just standing on, so they have these problems. I just want to interpret it and translate these problems to you. Okay, challenges in large-scale projects. Because of we have localization, we have the teams, we are happy there. We have if we succeed our sprint goals or our team goals, it's okay. We are okay as a China. Okay, I can produce everything, but as a whole world, whole organization, maybe I can do something wrong, like climate change, right? So localization, because of too much focus on the team itself, just focus on team itself. Also, we have some sort of fragmentation causing challenges in large-scale Scrum projects. And this fragmentation comes from the sprint-based short-term approach. So you just plan for the sprint for the 2 weeks. What about the beyond of that? I don't know. Let's see. And because of this, we have lack of flexibility. We cannot see the high, far away. We cannot do too much plan for that. There is no project management for the Scrum still. Okay, anyway. We have focusing on the short-term goals of the sprints. Is everything fine? Everything's fine, but no. Lack of overall status beyond the sprints, as I told you, and we have self-organizing and cross-functional teams, okay? It brings some kind of isolation, because, you know, when you feel that I am self-organizing, okay, I am cross-functional, I take everything I need. So I don't care about anything about, you know, something happening outside of my team. So it's something like selfish happening for self-organizing teams, unfortunately. Okay, we have lack of collocation sometimes, which Scrum requires for, usually. And we need, even, you know, it's not so much encouraged in Scrum. Also, still we need to have some sort of speciality inside the teams. And also we need to have some kind of leads and leaders. And people think that in Scrum is not so much, you know, encouraged. And people also think that we have lack of holistic view and tracking the items dependencies. So we can have external dependency, but we cannot manage it in Scrum in easy way. Because of, you know, lack of communication and collaboration inside the team is okay. Collaboration is okay inside the team, but outside of the team, because of localization comes with the Scrum, we have trouble here as well. Okay, necessity for the Scrum ceremonies. Okay, sometimes people feel that they just need to comply with the necessity of the frameworks. Okay, no necessary, maybe for the daily Scrum or something, but you need to do that. How many minutes I have? Come on, I was expecting 10 minutes, so 5 is, yeah, time management, as you see, is very hard. Okay, I will be super fast. So, inefficient Scrum events, estimation is time consuming. Okay, we do, you know, some kind of estimation, but it's not, so we have so much rest because of this, you know, comes from revolutionary change comes with Scrum. High cost for transition, reorganization, we need to change everything, you know, for the sake of the Scrum itself sometimes. And transition steps in Scrum are bulk. It's not agile at all. Okay, so elements in using Kanban. I think the most important part is this one. So this is the positive side of our research. So I will be faster. Okay, you cannot read it again, right? What can I do sometimes? Okay, come back. Okay, anyway. So for the flow management, we can have product-based flow management, but at the same time, we can have value stream-based product management. So I think this term is a little bit, you know, something different as we discussed in the morning. But, you know, we have value stream. Okay, let's say we have value stream, and we can, inside this value stream, we can have pull systems. And after that, we can have, you know, continuous flow, like in Scrum, Kanban. At the same time, we can have iteration. Still, we can have iteration. It's not forbidden. But this iteration are mostly used in a way. So you just create an iteration for the release or for some work groups or for hypothesis or experiment. So when your experiment or when your hypothesis finishes, your time is finished. Not clock time. It's based on the, you know, the work itself, not clock time. Clock time is dangerous. Okay, like happening just right now. So we can have all the events. These events are very nice, and very nice. Coming from Scrum, because, why? Because Kanban doesn't have it. Okay, we have retro review, grooming, but the review can be, you know, at the end of your iteration, but it can be also based on your work item itself. So you don't need to wait for the review. I think it's impossible in Scrum as well, but something different. So maybe I can explain it after this presentation because time is limited, right? So we have daily, we have planning. Okay. So we have 3 different events apart from these ones. I mean, you can integrate all of these things. Also, you can, conduct your meetings schedule-based or on-demand, or, as I said, work, experiment, hypothesis, or release-based. You can have your these events based on these ones. So I am happy that you can find, all the information from my paper. I will show you at the end of this presentation. So it is published in IEEE. Okay, we have the boards, but not Scrum boards, Kanban boards. Most of the people are using these. This is not my idea again. So they don't have, but some of the people are using back and forward movement of the items, and they are using certain Kanban metrics, cycle time, lead time, WIP, based on count and size together, service level agreement and service level expectations together as well. For the rules, yes, we can have still empowered teams, cross-functional, self-organizing. We can still have specialists, leaders. The teams can be agile, no problem. I can be there. It's for agile, right? Okay, you can have also your own roles for yourself. So also we can have project manager, coaching, monitoring, coaching and mentoring, system thinkers, and we can also have product owners, and also we can have a direct customer contact. Also, we can also locate our product owner as a facilitator, not as a bridge for the requirement management. So product owner can work as a Scrum master. Okay. Just to facilitate requirement management stuff. We have also some tools and artifacts like online tools, flow for the flow. We can use definition of done, something coming from the Scrum, but these ones something dangerous because this is not to have the end-to-end view for our product management. Also, we have user stories, but minimum viable product is fine, but it's mostly used for the new product, not for the continuous product. But these red ones, there are some questions for these ones. So for the other ones, they are fine. Okay, takeaway points. So yeah, we need to adapt the methods for our benefit, right? For not benefits of someone else. So we need to use them as an and logic rather than or logic, because where one is weak, the other one can be strong, and we need to integrate the most beneficial parts of these methods. So we need to play with them. So Kanban is methodology independent, and it can be applied to Scrum, extreme programming, or the waterfall methodology. So yeah, Scrum and Kanban still can go hand in hand. And unfortunately, we haven't seen so much work, all right, about how to manage the portfolio level. Okay, because there are too much about the operational level and coordination level maybe, but how to define the right project or right work to do. Most of the people don't talk about this portfolio level. I think I am done, and this is the one quote. You can reach the full paper. You can read it and ask any question further. Yep, thank you to our lovely sponsors.